Now at 5, community after community hit hard by a second hurricane. The work now ahead of millions of people across Florida.
Sending Hoosier helpers, what these Indiana National Guard members are going to be doing to assist victims of the hurricane.
From near 80 to lows in the 30s, I'm tracking big temperature swings in your 7-day.
And a shooting under investigation in Broad Ripple.
We have the help that police say they need from you to solve this crime. Live from Indy, you're watching 13 News.
Well, tonight, we're getting a new look at the massive damage Hurricane Milton caused across Florida.
This is drone video, and you can see from above with the daylight now, the roof ripped off the Tropicana field in St. Petersburg. This gives a really new perspective of what might be one of the best examples of the strength of the storm that came through overnight. 100-mile-an-hour winds shredded that polymer dome. It was shielding hundreds of first responders until the decision was made to move them just before that storm made landfall.
Now, millions of people are trying to get back to their homes. So take a look at all the water still covering the streets in Tampa hours after Milton made landfall as a Category 3 storm. And we're also starting to see video of the rescues after the storm.
The Hillsborough County Sheriff spotted this 14-year-old boy that was clinging to debris in the floodwaters. This is in Hillsborough Beach. Thankfully, the sheriff was able to grab the boy from the water and get him to safety. But these videos don't even begin to cover the surface of all of the problems that we're hearing from Floridians and what we see that they're experiencing right now.
Millions now without power after the hurricane's winds brought down power lines and knocked over trees, like you can see in this video from Bradenton.
The people who live in the area that's just north of Siesta Key, where the storm made landfall, now are trying to clean up all the damage left behind.
This actually happened right after the eye. We were in the eye for a moment, and then the wind started to gust and pick back up. And probably, I don't know, 10 to 15 minutes after the eye, 20 minutes after the eye, that's when we heard the sound and the tree came down.
Check that out. That's a pretty big oak tree. It came down in his yard. Fortunately, it just missed his house and nobody there was hurt. But unfortunately, not everybody was as lucky.
Yeah, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done in the state after a second major hurricane hit in just 2 weeks. Our Samantha Johnson just visited the Indiana National Guard as they prepare to go to Florida to help communities in need.
Governor Eric Holcomb activated the Guard on Wednesday, and today around 400 men and women are mobilized, packed, and headed south to Florida to help in the aftermath of Hurricane Milton. Inside the Joint Operations Center,
we're bringing in information, we're doing analysis.
This is the hub for all Hoosier Guardsmen worldwide. The computers, the maps, the monitors, and right now, Florida is taking center screen.
So right now, we will be providing personnel and equipment to conduct debris removal, but also transportation of people and equipment in the devastated areas.
Lieutenant Colonel Amy Hoover says the hundreds of guardsmen should make it to Florida in a matter of hours, working closely with the state and Homeland Security.
So we're always communicating to adjust the needs and where in Florida they're being sent.
And they're not alone. Indiana Task Force 1 also on its way to Florida. They shared this update on social media Thursday, saying they're moving into the Tampa region and joining other urban search and rescue teams sifting through the debris.
All of the stuff that was in place prior to the storm now being dislodged to move boats, docks, houses, cars.
As for the National Guard, Hoover says they're prepared to stay in Florida as long as they're needed.
They embody the Hoosier spirit of wanting to help others, and then also they do it very, very well.
In Indianapolis, Samantha Johnson, 13 News.
Thanks, Sam. And the National Guard prepares for events just like this. They call them no-notice events.
That's right. They're prepared that way. They're ready to load up and move out at any time. We have more from the Guard right now if you'd like to read more at WTHR.com. And the Indiana National Guard members, not the only soldiers that are on the ground providing aid and help in Florida.
Guard members from other states have also arrived, and they're hard at work cleaning up fallen trees in Sarasota. So we're seeing damage from Hurricane Milton even further south in an area already hit hard by Hurricane Helene.
The Weather Channel's Jim Cantori has a look at what the storm left behind in the Punta Gorda area.
This was one of our hugest concerns days ago, where debris was not picked up from Helene, and we would see another storm surge event with Milton. And that's exactly what we got here in Punta Gorda. And you can see, again, this is more of kind of what I expected, where this was probably all in a pile, okay? This is flooded debris and home belongings that were pulled out of the home and piled up here. But then the new surge event came in and has allowed it to just kind of get scattered all over the place. And I mean, it's kind of amazing looking, you know, fireplace, albums, carpet, obviously, a hutch of some sort, a desk. I mean, just everything you can imagine, sofa, and you can even see the debris line right there on the screen. It shows up really, really well. All of this all the way down the street, more and more the same, where it's floated back into the street, floated back into the yards in some cases. And these homes seem to be, you know, ones that were older, where they're lower. They kind of sit down here at street level. You can see that with this particular home. And then you look up here to the left, where storms have been built more recently, they're elevated. So that's the name of the game. If you're building, elevate, because the water is just going to keep coming up and get higher and higher. And this is certainly evidence of that, with now 2 hurricanes down here affecting South Florida in the last 2.5 weeks. Reporting from Punta Gorda, I'm meteorologist Jim Cantori.
All right, you're just looking at all of the devastation, all the items just floating around in the water. I mean, talk about a cleanup job.
Right, and he's wearing boots there, you know, I mean, and at least he could get through. In some areas it's even higher.
Even higher, and it's going to be a long recovery process for that state. And as we continue to clean up from Helene across the Carolinas as well. What's left of Milton is now working its way off the coast of Florida. That's the good news. Still has winds near 70 miles per hour. It's post-tropical at this point and will continue to move away from land. Across central Indiana, it's clear and it's warm for October. Temperatures right now in the 70s. We have 71 in Kokomo, 76 degrees in Shelbyville, Indianapolis at 74, and we're nearing 80 in Terre Haute. That even warmer air will move all across central Indiana over the next couple of days. Nice mild evening for us under clear skies. We'll be in the low 70s at 7 p.m. and then spend the late evening hours in the 50s and 60s. Maybe a jacket or a sweatshirt early tomorrow morning. Clear and cool at the bus stop, but ooh, it's going to be a warm afternoon. Sunny and warm tomorrow afternoon with highs close to 80 degrees. It's going to be another great night for Friday night football. Game of the week, Center Grove and Lawrence North. Temperatures for kickoff close to 70. By the fourth quarter, we'll be dealing with temperatures in the 60s. We'll stick with football. Stanford at Notre Dame this weekend. A chance of a couple of showers for that 3:30 kickoff.
All right, Angela, thank you. And we've got some other news to get to this evening. Tonight, Metro Police are investigating after a man was shot in the Broad Ripple Bar District.
It happened around 1:30 this morning near 64th Street and Guilford. Our Marion County reporter Lauren Kostick went back to that shooting today and now tonight shares what police say they need from the community.
This is the parking lot police believe that shooting stemmed from, right off Guilford Avenue, backing up to Connor's Pub and another store. And now investigators are asking for more witnesses to come forward. This was the scene early Thursday morning. Guilford Avenue blocked off by police cars and crime scene tape. Investigators say an off-duty officer heard commotion coming from a nearby parking lot, and seconds later, gunfire.
He ran up to the location and did not see any suspect or suspects, but did locate an adult male who had wounds consistent with a gunshot wound.
That victim was taken to the hospital and is expected to be okay. Detectives managed to interview a few witnesses, but believe more people know what happened, now asking them to come forward.
Trying to solve this is next to impossible without having the public's help.
At 6, we take a closer look at safety in the village and why many business owners say crime is trending down. In Broad Ripple, Lauren Kostick, 13 News.
Like Lauren said, if you saw anything this morning, you were urged to call IMPD. You can even make an anonymous tip if you call Crime Stoppers. We have those numbers for you to call right now on our website at WTHR.com.
An update tonight. The Delaware County coroner tells us the 52-year-old woman hurt in a crash involving a 14-year-old driver has died from her injuries. Police had already arrested the 14-year-old accused of stealing a car, speeding, and then crashing into Misa Cope's car in Muncie. Well, an 18-year-old and 2 other kids in the 14-year-old's car were hurt as well. And that teen driver now faces preliminary charges of robbery, auto theft, strangulation, and criminal recklessness resulting in catastrophic injury.
The Marion County Prosecutor's Office and Horizon House now partnering together on a new program.
The program aims to increase housing for Hoosiers who've been through the criminal justice system. Karen Campbell joins us to explain how providing access to housing will reduce crime.
Well, this pilot program hopes to minimize future criminal activity by focusing on up to 35 individuals involved in the criminal justice system. According to Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears, a lack of housing is one of the biggest challenges facing the community and his office. So thanks to an elevation grant by the Indianapolis Foundation, the prosecutor's office, together with Horizon House, developed this program.
I was talking to a woman who was unhoused, and she shared with me and said, I don't know how you want me to work on my addiction issues or my mental health issues when I don't know where I'm going to sleep at night. And that was a very fair point. And so if we're serious about addressing these root cause issues, we have to be able to do something about finding a place to get individuals housed.
And Horizon House hopes to offer as many resources as they can to help. Coming up at 6, I'll share how the prosecutor's office and Horizon House will utilize the funds and who they say will be helped the most.
All right, Karen, thanks so much. A big donation tonight to help hungry Hoosiers.
Kroger actually donated $130,000 to Gleaners Food Bank during the ribbon cutting at its downtown store on West Michigan. The donation will provide more than 1 million meals to people in need.
The ribbon cutting marked the end of a $2 million project to upgrade the store that's in downtown Indy. Asking for $6 million.
Why Kokomo schools want you to vote yes on their referendum this upcoming election. That's new at 5:30.
It's going to be warm for October ahead of that chilly change that comes early next week. And also look ahead to a rain chance in your forecast.
All right, Angela, and assessing the damage.
The help from the feds in the aftermath of Hurricane Milton as our news continues.